SydeQuest?
We're good now.
I don't like how that's coming out of my mouth. What's up, babies? It's your boy. No, it's the Sidecast. Show about game, people who play him. I am your boy. Him, Tremayne Labs, the dude Pablo Johnson. And what's up, Ron? Welcome back, my guy.
Good to be back.
My hombre.
Ron, a.k.a. Ron Rancor.
Oh, dang. All right.
Coming out
We're
the
back.
box hot.
All right. Heck yeah. All right. I am Drew, a.k.a. It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
That meant relax.
You know?
Yeah.
Hey.
Or not relaxed. I'm kind of scared, actually. Oh. Dog?
Oh, it's a little of both.
Oh,
Little
But
bit
it's
of both.
okay.
It's okay. That's all that matters.
Hey.
Rachel, AKA I had a good day. I stole your rhyme, sorry.
Damn.
Ours? We up.
Yeah, you did to rhyme everything.
SydeQuest called Quest?
Sidecast called Quest.
Okay.
Wow. Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, also, that is really good. That
was really good.
I do have a clarifying point on your AKA real quick.
Okay.
The dude or the Duke? Are we in the presence of...
Dude.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Dude, not royalty.
Okay.
yeah.
I heard Duke, and I just felt like we needed to clarify before I...
That's fair.
No, that was very important.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we deal with royalty, the whole show changes.
It's a different show. It's a different show.
I
you know?
different
we
vibe.
gotta command respect.
We got to get the little spoons out.
Yep.
Right.
The little spoon, the salad fork.
The fine china.
Right.
Got it. Dog.
Yeah, the P
Gotta
forks.
give me the fine china.
Yeah,
P forks?
yeah. They use little
P
forks
fork.
and they
It's
skewer
like
the
a-
peas.
It's a...
I'll tweak out.
Yeah. These
Don't
P
crash
If
out.
somebody bring me a pig, P.
Nah, it's not actually a pea fork. That's just how royalty eats peas. They skewer them with forks.
With a Bident fork.
With a
Isn't
Bident?
it? Are they
Bident?
Bident forks? Yeah, Bident. Like a two
Two prongs.
prongs?
Oh my God.
Joe Biden fork?
No, yeah. Uh-oh.
Well,
All right.
Yikes.
that's
Well,
the
we
name
just
of the
got
stream.
Yeah, we should get
Cut it out. Anyway, my people, my homies, my dogs. I got a question for y'all.
Yeah.
In recent events, I didn't see it. I'm not gonna lie to y'all because I don't want to. The Minecraft movie has been out,
Okay.
doing numbers. Not doing Sinners numbers no more, but it was doing numbers. And it made me think. Also, I was playing Seafood, which is it's a kung fu movie video game.
Nice.
Got me thinking.
The best.
Kung Fu Panda.
Correlation. Video games and movies. I got 2 questions, really. Favorite, or at least current favorite, video game movie adaptation. And also, you feel free to come back to it. Video games that should be movies. Could be movies. I just want to get y'all thoughts. I want to see what's popping.
Man. I struggle a lot with the video games that have been adapted to series, movies, etc. Typically, so I'm going to put a caveat that I have not seen The Last of Us yet. It is on my ever-growing list of things to watch.
There's so many things to watch.
There are so many things to watch.
So many things to play.
It is on my list. I have watched plenty of video game play, and I see why they made it a TV series, and I see why I'm probably going to really like this one.
Sure.
I have an unpopular opinion about a series, which is that I still enjoy the Witcher TV series. I know a lot of people don't have some thoughts about the casting changes, et cetera, et cetera. That is a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
I think that turning The Witcher 3 and The Witcher Saga into a TV series was a theoretical good move. I don't have the same issues that a lot of people do with the directional decisions that were made with plot and story. And so I still like the show a lot. That is probably the only one off the cuff that like I'm still currently invested in.
Sure.
So that's my answer for like video. But even then though, the Witcher stuff is technically, it's books
Right.
and video games, right?
Yeah.
Which was it first?
So yeah, go ahead. I mean, it's books
It was
first.
books first.
So does that count?
So especially
Well,
especially because
Right.
especially because this is where I will go down a teeny tiny rabbit hole. Andrei
here for it.
Sapkowski's novels were not super popular. CD Projekt Red said, "Hey, I love your idea. Can we turn it into a video game?" And he said, "I have pennies for these books. Sure."
Yeah.
CD Projekt Red blew the hinges off of The Witcher.
Right, yeah.
Period. And then now his books fly off the shelves.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the whole deal there.
Yeah.
So arguably, the video game canon is really what has like propelled like the Witcher fandom.
Yeah. And the Witcher show wouldn't have happened if there was no video game.
In my opinion, yeah.
I don't think it would have.
And I think the series. I'm illiterate, so
What is read?
I think
Read is how.
I think that the series more closely follows the video games, which I can play and follow on, than the actual books themselves.
Yeah, I think so.
I think obviously you have a video game based on the story told in a book, which is then
Which is then
be
deviated
crossover.
and so what's canon, what's
Yeah.
not,
Right,
right, yeah. And that gets sloppy, which is why, on the whole, I don't get mad at a TV show saying we're going even a different direction.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I just am not. I'm not
I
upset.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a massive so much that my brain just stopped working.
Power down.
Yes. Thank you. I'm a massive fan of the way that he approached making it. I also have not seen season 3. But I saw seasons 1 and 2 and thought that they were great.
Yeah.
Thought that the deviation were all fine. Like not even just fine, but like not like, oh well, wish they hadn't done that, but it's okay, I guess. But like, I thought as a standalone product, if you were to not compare it to anything else and just go, is this enjoyable to watch? Is it interesting? Is the character development? It stands on its own, and it should, right?
It's not
That's
like something that's
exactly-
taking place in between Witcher 2 and Witcher 3.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not a timeline thing that they're placing in between canon events. It is its own entity, and exactly why what you've just said is exactly why I still respect it as its own thing, and I still enjoy watching it.
Yeah. Yeah.
To answer the other part of the question of things that I think could be, one that's already been talked about, discussed, the Horizon Saga would be a fantastic miniseries.
That'd be so good.
I would not want to see it as a film unless they were going to do films per game. And even then, I think they would be
it's too tight.
Way too tight.
Miniseries would be
We
phenomenal.
need 8 to 9 hours.
Yeah, and my personal casting choice for Aloy is Sadie Sink.
Is that the voice actor?
From
No. If
From
they're
Stranger
gonna,
Things?
huh?
From
Stranger
Stranger
Things. Yeah.
Yeah.
She is the perfect combination of smarmy
Yeah.
and strong-willed
Yeah.
and intelligent. I would love to see if they're not gonna cast the voice actor, which they're not.
Yeah, they never did.
Then they should cast Sadie Sink.
But isn't she also the motion capture actress for it?
I think so.
Probably.
I mean,
It feels
could be
like
done.
then at that point, that's like a little bit different, right?
Yeah,
Than
but
not
But
casting.
will Hollywood think like that?
They did that to Moana though. In the live action stuff that they're working on, they totally abandoned the concept of the voice actor who they also did modeling after for the film. And The Rock is being Maui, but she was not cast as Moana.
Sure.
So it happens all the time.
Yeah, Hollywood.
Sure.
Anyway, my other one is specifically Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
I realize that there's some, there's multiple there's 3 ending possibilities in that. But I think the story of Arthur is such a good story that could be another. Again, I would struggle to say movie, but miniseries, fantastic.
We're due for a good Western.
A Western,
Oh, yeah.
baby,
Last
yeah.
time we had a good Western.
God,
Tombstone?
probably like 10 years ago.
Golly. So old.
Yeah.
Those are mine.
Okay, so mine's going to be rough because you took my one that I like.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
What, The Witcher?
The Witcher.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I mean it's really the only like video game property that like turned into TV show outside of maybe the animated space. Like maybe there's
animated.
Yeah.
Leave it to me.
Yeah.
Okay, Ron's on it. Ron's on it.
So
We
like,
didn't say live action, right?
no, we did not.
no,
Okay,
we
we
did
did
not.
not.
All right.
Which I feel like they can do. There's stuff that's been done better in that. But most of of it for me comes down to the fact that like a lot of video games that are even on the short end, like an 8-hour narrative, and on the long end of 200-hour narrative,
Right.
are largely tried to capitalize on by making them a movie. And you hit on something that I think is really big for me, and why I think a lot of the stuff that I wished was great doesn't hit is because like you are chopping a lot of meat off the bone to go from 8 hours, you know, to an hour and a half or 2 hours. Right?
You have to squash some of the most important parts of what make it good.
Yeah. If you look at let's just say you're making a faithful video game adaptation movie, right? If the script, which is the video game narrative, is 8 hours long,
Right.
and you condense down the gameplay, let's say you condense down the gameplay and that's only 2 hours of what's happening on top
Minus
of it
jump
all.
puzzles.
Right? Minus jump puzzles. So now that's all action sequences that are happening, the gameplay, and then all the narratives, the cutscenes, and all that stuff that happens between there. If you shot 6.5 hours of movie, like actual script, right? And then the studio came to you and said, okay, great, but we need you to make it 1 hour and 3/4 movie.
Grueling.
It'd be terrible. There's no way it would be a good movie, right? Like, there's no way it would be a good movie. It'd have to be broken up into multiple movies. You'd have to do 2-parters of maybe 2.5 hours you could cut out of it.
Right.
And just go like, okay, I think we can tell the same mostly story and thing. But that's what's happening, right?
Zack Snyder's Halo. Yeah.
So, I mean, like, for me...
y'all had different reactions. That shit sound dope to
Oh,
me.
really?
Man.
Anyways, I was just talking about a 5-hour movie. Anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he would definitely shoot a 5-hour movie. I don't know I don't know how I feel about that. I know how I feel about other stuff that Zack Snyder has done recently.
Fair.
I don't, thinking about what you're saying though, I can see how it would work, actually.
Yeah.
I could see how it would actually be the right move. I don't know. I think a lot of my faith in him has been reduced recently.
Don't even
Dial that back.
I understand.
I have seen Rebel Moon. And
it took me 3 sittings, but I also have seen Rebel.
it was a tour for me. And I'm not a fall asleep during a movie guy. Just to be very clear, like it's rough for me to fall asleep during
Achievement
a movie.
unlocked.
Yeah. And turns out I fell asleep like during the like apex third act scene movie, and so that's not a great.
No, that's not good.
Not the middle exposition part.
Right,
It's like this is where the meat is, and I'm like, I could sleep.
I'll take a nap. I'm just a nappy. It's fine.
A nappy?
For me, and this is going to be crazy because we have a series, like we've gotten it. For me, it's Halo.
Yeah.
For me, what I need to have happen is a Halo series. Like, to be honest with you, I actually really enjoyed the Paramount series.
I thought it was good, and I don't know shit.
If it's disconnected from the video games.
By turning it off and going, that's not Master Chief, that's Bob the Spartan.
Right.
Okay.
Right? Like,
Okay.
if that was just a Halo series and they gave us a different Spartan and it was a different story, I would have loved that. I would have loved it from start to finish. If it was but the moment you're like, this is happening inside the Halo universe, these are all characters that you're familiar with, and we're going to be stringently loyal on some of them and debaucherously like unloyal on others.
Throw that whole character away. This one cannot change.
Right.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's the rough part about watching that series for me.
Yeah.
But like in terms of the action, in terms of the costume designs, I mean there were some problems with a little bit of the like CGI and stuff that like wasn't really
it's a TV show. Yeah.
Right.
I feel like that's less. I feel like I'm used to accept that a lot. I feel like today's day and age, I'm more like, well, I don't know. It's
a Paramount TV show. Let me
okay,
clarify.
that's fair.
It's
Okay.
It's a Paramount. It's not a Netflix or Disney TV show.
More grace for Paramount.
Yes.
But even I think it was more the inconsistency of it.
Yeah.
It was sometimes it looked phenomenal, and
Yeah.
sometimes it looked like a game
Oh
rendering.
yeah, that's frustrating.
Yeah.
and that was what was difficult.
Yeah.
But Drew, you already got the best Halo series you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
Red versus Blue counts.
Dude, I don't disagree with you.
That's a chupacabra, sir.
But like, it's light red. That's pink. But I would love like a Reach. If somebody could develop a Reach, I feel like you could have somebody with some like buddy chops could tell a story on Reach.
Sure.
Probably hell, even the production team that made this Halo TV show.
Okay.
Like that was they were trying to tell like a group buddy thing anyway. They made up some cool Spartan. Like let's do, but that was the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like they felt like they had to have John in it. They felt, and I wanted that, so I wanted a Halo series.
Yeah.
And just to talk on the positive though for a second, just to piggyback on The Witcher, I thought it was phenomenal.
Okay.
I really loved it.
Warms my heart.
Seasons 1 and season 2. I did not watch season 3, and that is because of my Henry Cavill fanboydom. But
He's
I
cannot be.
Well, I mean, it just rubbed me the wrong way. Like moving away from like
It's hard to see another face.
Yeah.
Well, he's
the
in
same role.
season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's season 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
We're waiting
Oh,
on
I'm
4.
sorry. Then I've seen seasons 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
I have not seen.
There's
4.
no. Well, we're
It
waiting
still
for
hasn't come
4.
out.
We're waiting for 4.
Oh, okay.
Wait, 4
Okay.
is the lesser Hemsworth.
Drew
brother.
has seen the entirety
I've seen
of
the
the Witcher
entire-
series. So
I've
Okay.
seen the
Going to the
entirety of
future.
it.
So you've seen Ciri starting to go down her own path,
Right.
And okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Then you've
And-
seen everything that's current.
Yeah, and I understand the things in season 3, like specifically, I think that maybe is what rubbed people the most wrong.
Yeah.
But like, it has to happen. What, I'm not supposed to say that? Did
No,
I say something?
no. I agree with you. I'm eye rolling at the general like. How could you do this to my favorite thing?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But because it's a different, and I'm eye rolling at that, but I have some patience for it too,
Sure.
because it actually ties into one of our other topics for today, of expectations versus what you're delivered, and so I do have some grace for it, but I'm also like, hey, it's its own thing.
Right.
I'm a massive Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy fan, and I feel like that
Starring
primes you. I think that primes you so well because it's all created by the same person.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's all written by the dude who wrote the book, the dude who wrote the television series, the dude who wrote the movie.
Right.
Same guy.
Yep.
All wildly different.
Yep.
Right? And his exact take on it is, why the hell would I tell the same story in three different medias the same way?
right.
Yes.
Right? Like, and like, so to me, that's kind of the vibe that I'm looking for when somebody goes, like,
Absolutely. I want something fresh. I want to experience the world that I enjoy, but I'm always open to a new take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm always open to a new take. Uh-oh.
I smacked my microphone.
Yeah.
Was there anything? Oh yeah, you said Halo.
Halo. Yeah. I mean, I think you're about to tap on one that I didn't want to take from you, but
That's so nice.
Animated?
huh?
Animated?
No.
Okay.
No. But yeah, a Halo Reach series.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, I would love
die
to be
for.
traumatized.
I would also. Yeah, I would love to be traumatized. And also, while we're staying on it, I'd take a fucking Destiny series. I'd watch.
yeah.
I'd watch a
I'd
Destiny
watch a
series.
Destiny series like legitimately
Especially if they threw
fleshing.
just a shit ton of money at it.
But which I thought about this. Which storyline?
Uh-oh.
Mine would be the team with Eris Morn in actually going for Crota and like all of this stuff.
Well, that's what I
feel
was gonna say.
Like that story.
Everything before Destiny 1.
Yeah.
I want to see like the squadron of people that have kind of been broken up into like the Guardian trainers
Right,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
Right, yeah.
That
Okay.
squad that used to exist.
Yeah.
I want to see them. I want to see the light touching so
Yeah.
many people,
Right.
That'd be
right?
cool.
Like the Traveler,
Yeah.
like I want to see that era
Yeah.
of like the formation of the tower and all
Yeah.
that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. That would be
That would be
rad.
awesome. Yes.
Of course, the problem is you are you going to be able to score Nathan Fillion for that? Are
Well,
you like
I mean,
well, you're obviously
Fuck else
you
is he
can't
doing?
get Zavala, so
you can't get Zavala,
Right.
right? So like, but you can do it.
R.I.P.
They can-
Lance.
yeah,
Yep.
Big
yeah.
Yep.
he's still weak.
Yeah. So those would be my two. I'll go with Destiny over Halo Reach because we technically already had a Halo series and we're ungrateful for it. So
and the Halo Reach was incredible storytelling.
Oh,
and
God,
such
yeah.
a story movie.
yeah.
Yeah. My ones are animated.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's Arcane, which is probably one of the best game adaptations. And I don't like the game, but it doesn't
Okay.
I'm not a big League of Legends fan. Like I like the characters that they create, but like I don't give turd about the game at all.
Sure.
Like
Yeah,
it's not
sure.
my style. My
Yeah.
friends play it. It is what it is. But the storytelling in that series was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Like, but I honestly I didn't go back to like look and see if the story was canon. Like I don't
sure.
care.
Yeah, it doesn't
like
matter.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
on that whole point of we're telling a different story. This is the series. This is what we're doing. I know the characters may have something to do with each other. Obviously, probably Jinx, Vi. Like I don't know. I would assume.
Sure.
Right.
But I don't know that. But I loved that show, and the second season wasn't as good as the first, but the first was incredible, and
Okay.
I'm still trying to get my wife to watch it to this day. I'm like, you're an English arts teacher. It's beautiful storytelling.
Just watch it, I
watch
promise.
it. But it's
I
animated.
promise.
It's for kids.
Yeah.
Stop it. And the other one's Castlevania. So
Oh,
okay.
Castlevania's adaptation also is fucking incredible. If
Awesome.
you have not seen it,
I've not.
Castlevania
watch.
is on the list.
Yeah.
I poked at the first 2 episodes of Arcane and then was like, I've got to watch this with
Yes.
my wife. And then it's just been put it on the list.
Yeah.
But I was hesitant to mention Arcane because I actively dislike League of Legends because Dota. But like, so I didn't feel like, is it fair to
Right,
be
yeah.
like, yeah, I like this thing
Right.
about this game that I hate, so I don't
Right.
fucking care if they made a mockery of it, right?
Right.
That's right.
But it is the first 2 episodes grabbed me and I was like, oh shit, this is good.
Here we go.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, if there was
It's the
one
Dota
adaptation that the Dota
They're looking for
him. You said something bad about League of Legends down here.
The door breaks down.
You're right. Yes. If I had to have something adapted, it would be actually Titanfall. Now I don't know how deep the story goes again in Titanfall because,
Sure.
I loved playing through the story missions and stuff. And did the first one even have a campaign? I don't think the first one had a campaign.
Not at release. I'm trying to remember if they
I don't
dropped
think
it.
the first one had a campaign.
I don't think the first one did have a campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anywho's, so the second
Yeah.
one had a campaign. Again, I don't know how big the story is, but I'm saying like that space, that realm,
Yeah.
those giant mechs, those people, like it could even be an anime. Like I think it would be
Yeah.
a dope anime
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so Netflix.
If you wanna, if you wanna
pick
go ahead
that
and
up,
do
they do
that
be
real
doing
quick,
that.
Yeah.
They do be doing that.
yeah,
It would be pretty dope
that would be sweet. Yeah.
because Titanfall 2 is the best game ever.
best
First shooter.
ever.
Best first person shooter.
Okay, that's different. I'll take that.
I'll take that one to the grave, dude, because
That's fair.
it is
I don't-
incredible.
I don't know shit about FPSs.
Have you okay, well yeah, not in the FPS.
Nah,
Nah, there was
not a shooter.
yeah, and there was some rumors around. Wait, did you say yours already?
No,
No.
I was
Okay,
waiting.
well, I don't want to jump into that.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I'll say it first. There was some rumors that Titanfall 3 was in the works. It's been kind of, I've seen some things saying, no, that's a lie. And I'm like, oh no. But still, my brain and heart is, please, for the love of God, made it Titanfall 3. Now's the time.
I don't know,
Okay.
Xbox is throwing a lot of money at stuff.
That's
Yeah.
legitimately something I want to talk about. So
Yeah.
I want to hear. I don't want to skip.
Yes.
I want to hear what yours
We're
are.
going to put a
Yeah.
pin in this.
One other thing I did want to
right
say while we're talking about video games and movies, I do legitimately feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't, even though it's not personally my favorite, talk about the Mario movie. And I know that there
was
was
great.
a bunch of
I loved it.
It was great. I know that the whole oh well, Mario wasn't racistly Italian, bothered some people.
It's a Mario,
We
Luigi
don't,
time.
we don't worry about those people.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
it's true.
then,
It's true. It's
yeah.
still okay. Anyway.
Well, that's why we
Um,
put Italians at the table,
Yeah.
so we can say those things.
There we go. We can laugh. You guys can't laugh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Don't laugh. All right.
this is their minority.
This is
Yeah,
our
so-
minority minute. Yeah.
I mean, if you're in Super Mario realm, and I would even say the Sonic movies are also pretty dope.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Segue King, because the Sonic movie was mine.
There
Okay,
it is.
there it is.
As a person with a nephew that loves Sonic, I've seen them all, and they all smack very hard.
Yeah.
All right.
I still haven't seen the last one, and I really need to see it.
I haven't seen the last one or Knuckles. I saw one.
So
or
you haven't
two.
seen 2 or 3.
Well, isn't there a
The third one
Like
is
a
Shadow.
Shadow.
the third one's Shadow?
Yeah.
Second
Isn't
one's
there like a
Knuckles.
Knuckles
Knuckles
show?
Oh yeah, there is a
series?
Knuckles show.
Is there a Knuckles?
Yes.
show?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a Knuckles
Yeah.
series.
It's in
Oh.
between the Knuckles and
Yeah.
the third
I
one.
didn't even.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Were you missing anything in the movie? I don't know.
Oh, I hope not.
I will say the Sonic movies though, like that cast,
Oh my god, knocked it out the park.
Yeah.
fucking
It's a
Keanu
great
Reeves
cast. It's a great
and,
cast.
what was-
Idris,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Elba himself, and even Jason Marsden,
Ben
everyone's
Schwartz.
great. So good.
Shout out Ben Schwartz,
Oh yeah, and Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
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 Jim Carrey,
Yep.
one of the goats.
Bumblebee Tuna.
Bumblebee too.
Your balls are showing. Bumblebee Tuna.
But yeah, that would be my favorite video game turn movie.
Okay.
Yes.
Turn content in general, because I love the Sonic X
Yeah.
growing up.
Okay.
The shows were fire. If I could turn a video game into a movie, I'm gonna say something wild.
Here it
Oh,
is.
hit me.
I'm a wild boy. Saints Row.
Okay.
The comedy
I have never played
GTA
it.
copy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Where
okay,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
goofy as shit.
Yeah.
I think could work as a TV series if you did it right.
Was there an
I
action
see
story
that.
in that?
It's not a good story. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't know. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, but you could
the
take the,
depth
world,
of story
right?
is what I'm
Okay.
saying. Yeah.
2 is a good. Saints Row 2 is a good story.
Okay.
Okay.
It's you go to jail in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
You then break out of jail at the beginning of the second one.
Okay.
Okay.
It's been a couple years. The gang has fallen apart. More gangs have taken over the city. There's a handful of them, and each of them lean into like a pretty dope story. I would stop at 2. Saints Row the Third and Saints Row 4 don't exist to me.
Oh, okay.
They don't exist to me because I don't know they exist.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's-
god!
yeah, I'm with you.
Saints Row 3. Saints Row 3 was passable.
Okay.
Saints Row 4 fell a fucking part. He became the president. You became the. You could be male or female. You became the president. You were a gang member president.
Huh.
Wow, sounds
And
familiar.
That's interesting.
You got kidnapped.
Anyways,
You got
I didn't know it was a documentary.
next
damn.
you'll see the president.
Oh.
Yeah.
and then you get kidnapped by aliens
Oh God.
who put you in a simulation. It's
Oh God.
the issue of why I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but the issue why 4 fell apart is because it was originally supposed to be just a DLC, and they was like, let's just make a whole game.
Right. Let's charge
Not
full
enough
price
for
for
that.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not enough for that.
So it didn't fall apart around the aliens and simulations. Got it. It was
No, it fell apart as aliens.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
The aliens and simulations was so that they could give you ridiculous powers.
Yep, that's
Like,
exactly what it was.
And have like
Gotcha.
Oh, you want to fly?
Here you go.
Here.
all right.
Take this probe.
I mean, the penetrator.
Now you.
Did Saints Row know
The
what it
penetrator.
was until 2?
Saints Row, no.
Okay.
Because it
So I
was
don't think they
definitely-
thought they were making a comedy GTA game
At first.
in 1.
Yeah.
But not in 1.
Yeah.
They leaned a little deeper into it in 2,
Yeah,
but they jumped out the fucking window at 3.
they did.
Okay.
And then they jumped
Alright.
out after jumping out the window over the shark in 4.
Yeah, yeah. That's
But-
Right into Jaws,
what
man.
I would want.
4 was fun as hell to play.
Oh, you play 4?
Yes.
Oh,
4
you poor thing.
It was fun. The
Dog,
gameplay
Dog,
conceit.
this will lean deeper later about expectation. I pre-ordered that shit. I spent real American dollars.
I bought it on some Steam sale for like
Sure.
46
Yeah,
cents or
no.
something. But
Tremayne pre-orders everything that sucks.
Oh.
You're not
sorry.
inherently.
Okay.
So
Okay,
they
hold
can't
on.
all hit, dude. They can't,
Can't all hit. You
They
right.
can't all
That's
hit.
not the point.
Yeah, that's all right.
Saints Row 2, 1 and 2, I think would be a great show.
Okay.
Because I guess you could take it seriously at first, touch a little comedy. A beautiful story happens in Saints Row 2. Shout out Johnny Gapp. May Aisha rest in peace, dog. But that was all I think. Those games are dope.
All right.
That game is dope.
Yeah.
Well, specifically
I'm stopping
that
at 2.
one,
I'm
yeah.
stopping at 2.
Okay. All right.
I think 2 could be. I do agree, and I even actually think all the way into like 3, 2 to 3 could be a really solid like comedy gang.
Yeah.
Like,
Because
you know,
the characters in there are hilarious.
yeah. If like
I think if the right writer got a hold of that.
Sure.
if like
Oh
the
my
21 Jump Street crew like
Gotcha.
got a hold of it, they could do something that
was gonna
was
say, could they do,
legitimately
like, a-
funny to watch.
I was gonna say, could they do like a like a community or Abbott Elementary style of like?
My name's Jeff.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
do see what you're saying.
like almost low key, almost mockumentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
gotcha.
think that like when I think of
And
that,
that speaks
scenario,
to kind of Saints Row style.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, I feel like that could be a great fit in its style. Anyway, I just generally like those types of,
Oh, yeah,
of
sure.
TV shows too. Like Abbott Elementary is one
Parks
of my
and
all-time
Rec.
favorites.
Abbott
Parks and Rec.
Yep.
Is fucking
Parks and
killing it
Rec.
right now.
Parks and
Keita
Rec.
Brunson. Keita Brunson is a genius.
Oh, fantastic!
Oh my god. I got into her. You ever heard of the Black Lady sketch show?
No.
It was a HBO skit show.
Okay.
Just black women, strong black females. Shout out to them. Just doing the skits. And it was off the cuff. It was leaned into a comedy I don't think has ever been seen. Black skit comedy don't really exist. We haven't, or at least haven't had it since at Living Color, at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Living Color smack. Shout out Jim Carrey again. Shout out to the Waynes. Shout out to them coming back for Scary Movie again. Because it fell off the rails when the Wayans brothers left. And now they're writing a new one.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
little news drop, secret news drop.
Little news
I didn't hear that. No.
Have you not heard?
I had not
Movie
heard.
74
right.
in
yeah.
theaters
I
2027.
think it's 6.
Close enough.
Times by 10 plus 14.
10 plus 14.
There was
Wayne
a math.
brothers are back.
All right, now we're dipping into Randy Savage.
Oh, no,
There
don't,
you go.
don't get me started.
Time distortion spaces the place.
Yes, macho man. Okay. Let me do Slim Jim here.
The cream
I don't
rises to the top.
All
right,
what you
anyways,
got for me,
back-
big dog?
Are we going
That
to
was
me?
all I had.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Oh.
I need a second.
I got mine.
Yeah, go ahead. Drew is at the ready. I need to think for a second.
Completely original thought here. Titanfall 3 is
Oh,
yeah, so I think it was like maybe 3 weeks ago. This just a little tweet.
Right, yeah.
Somebody just tweeted.
On
Yeah.
the X.
Someone X'd into Twit.
That's not making any sense. What'd you say?
Tweet gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was multi-level right there,
Oh
baby.
my goodness.
If only I was wearing my DMX chain.
Oh my goodness. Tweet gonna give it to you.
Is that not a tweet already?
Oh my goodness.
Somebody missed out on an
Oh,
opportunity.
Jesus. That's ours. Nobody
That's
take
ours.
that. We'll
Yeah.
The
debut
shop
them.
has to tweet that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got to make a tweeter.
Oh, dog.
Um,
you gotta get on the tweeter.
Yeah.
The X.com.
Oh,
we do have a blue sky.
Blue Sky.
A blue
We have
sky.
a blue sky, so I'll make the X Twitter joke on our blue sky to just really
Bring it all the way
just
around.
bring it all the way
Yeah.
around.
X gonna tweet it to you.
Yeah. God.
no, anyways.
All right.
Okay, so-
We're funny.
So someone made a meme
Pay us money.
of some sorts, not a meme, but like a little post, a social media post that was a picture.
There's more than one. I've seen multiple now at this point, but yes.
But I'm saying the
There's one
first
that
one that
blew
I
up,
saw
yeah.
that was like a picture of a social media post.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was an announcement stating from a news source that stated that Titanfall 3 was going into pre-production.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
My heart beat fast.
Yes, it was.
began
I
to
mean, like
sweat.
the report was coming from from the developers
Right.
and seemed to be
Right.
legitimate.
Right, yes.
Right. I've since seen stuff go like, no, it's not. Come from more official sources.
Right, yeah.
But
Boo.
Hey, that's my thing.
Oh, sorry. Damn it. I
But-
did it again.
all of it reads to me like damage control.
Right. Like that wasn't
Or-
supposed to go
Like,
out.
oh, don't tell him that
Right.
yet.
And instead of
Okay.
instead of a marketing team going like pivot,
Right.
let's do this thing. Right?
Yeah.
Because they were probably hoping to have like a release trailer
Right.
and all this sort of
Sure.
stuff.
Yeah.
And instead of a marketing team going like, let's get a title trailer and like just like the first footage we have of a pilot and a Titan running.
Yeah.
Right?
Or
And
just
then
a fucking
boom,
drop.
Yeah,
Yeah, or just boom.
Right?
Here it
Clouds,
is.
light, end.
Right.
Boom.
And,
Yeah.
It's that somebody pivoted the other direction, and companies have done this before, right? Like
It's not real.
Marvel did it with the leak about Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire being Spider-Man.
They tried to burn that.
They were
Tried to
just
burn
like,
it off the face of the earth.
absolutely not true, right? I mean, they had Tom Holland out there just being like, I'm finished watching this movie, or shooting this movie, and if they are in it, I don't know where, and we like they must have had me talking to a tennis ball, right? Well after like every confirmed source was like those two are in this movie, right? Like
Not poor baby.
Saw the man swinging webs.
And so it all reads to me like that's what's hoping on. And potentially what I really think might be happening there is insider people, it was going into pre-production, tightening of reins because we're looking at a bad economy, and somebody at the company, not necessarily like somebody at the company on some board meeting mentioned maybe we'll postpone the pre-production of Titanfall 3, and somebody close to it was like, "Fucking watch us,
let's force the hand,
right?
here
We'll force the hand, right? Like we'll just go, hey, it's into pre-production, and now marketing's like, no, it's not. It's not in pre-production. It's not in pre-production.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, instead of going like, oh shit, like there is demand here, right?
Well, I mean, they could also be feeling for demand as well.
Sure,
like they're like, well, should we get this, going, whatever, I'll put it out there.
Yeah, it could be just a
oh shit, it's blowing up. All right, okay, there's something.
It's got a little bit of Ryan Reynolds just going out and making a fucking Deadpool trailer without approval from Fox and without anybody just being like, here. I'm saying it's not at that scale, but it's kind of got that vibe, right? Like we just made it real. Now what are you going to do with it? Right. But man, just I'm right there with you. Titanfall 1 and specifically Titanfall 2, even as much acclaim as they got like from the people that played them and touched them, like I still think are critically underrated. That
could have been a game that played for 10 years.
It could have been.
Yeah.
It could still be playing. Like we should be on Titanfall 4 by now. Right? Yeah. Like and like I understand studios had problems. I understand like they did what they had to. Obviously they're making a very popular game right now that gets tons of play and makes them lots of money in Apex.
Which feels similar but definitely doesn't.
It feels similar, but not nearly as tight or good. And
real loose.
Real loose. I mean, I think like
let's not talk about Apex.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about Apex. I played Apex. I like that. I like I like Battlegrounds games. I love PUBG. I like the whole concept, and I love Titanfall. So when they were like they're making one, I was like, fuck yes. I was like, 100%, that's going to be my one, right? Like, I'm going to play that. Fortnite wasn't for me. Fortnite was the first game I ever played that made me think maybe I was getting too old to play video games.
Preach.
I was like, all right, I'm going to shoot that. And this kid builds a fucking castle.
And I was like, what am I doing here?
Yeah, I'm going to go home.
You just sculpted a Trojan horse.
Yeah.
And you're just standing there like, what the fuck is happening?
I got this box to hide in.
As the youngest person. Just they made no build.
They did make no build.
And that shit also makes me feel
okay. All right.
Because even I don't even want to get into it.
All right.
I start shooting.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I've been shot 97 times. I don't even know how.
Yeah.
By a 12-year-old. That's
exactly.
Well, I had a follow. You already said this earlier before, like we fully dove into it, but I want to go back to it because it's a bold claim to say that it is the best FPS. And as somebody who like only dabbles, right?
Yeah.
I want to know. Tell me why.
It's for me. It's mobility and gunplay.
Okay.
I mean that, and then mixed in with the possibility of also having mechs.
Okay.
So that also function well and are fun. So it's like, am I running, jumping, leaping onto the back of a Titan or a Is that what are they called?
Yeah, Titans.
Titans.
Yeah.
I thought that was just no. Atlas was the name of one.
Yeah.
It was onto a Titan. You know, am I pulling their battery and taking their
Okay.
shields out, or am I in the Titan playing Rock'em Sock'em Robots with other Titans? You know, like it was just there was so many different ways you could play the game on the same battlefield, and I just loved it.
Okay.
And they were all viable. Like, so you didn't have to have a Titan to be great. And my favorite thing was just being the pilot that pissed off all the fucking Titans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I was the one that, like, jump, building, wall run, jump, grapple, grab on here, take your battery, run away.
Yeah.
Like, do this, blow up your thing.
So
I
it's
loved it.
So it's the variety of your ability to interact with your enemy.
Yeah,
Right?
1,000%.
Okay.
1,000%. I mean, obviously the shooting's got to feel good,
Yeah,
right?
it did.
Like
Felt very
Bungie
good.
does this all the time, right? Just make a game that feels good to
Right.
play, right?
Yeah,
Destiny,
sure. Yeah.
Destiny 1 lived on the fact that it made absolutely no
Right.
fucking sense, but felt good to play.
Oh,
right?
100%, yeah.
Titanfall had that same. Titanfall feels like a even more dialed in Bungie shooter, in
Okay.
my opinion.
Yeah.
Right? Like they locked everything in. The mobility feels amazing, and the thing that shouldn't work in that game, which is that you are little dude with gun, and on a battlefield with mechs. Right?
Right.
It's the same thing that shouldn't work in Halo, that they get around with the fact that you're a fucking Spartan super
Right.
soldier.
Sure.
And
With
they're
an
just like,
overshield.
okay, yeah, you can figure this out and fight a tank,
Yeah.
but it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? And so, like, you get in a vehicle in Halo, you feel powerful.
Right.
You get in a Titan in Titanfall, and you feel powerful. But you also feel weak and
Right, yes,
exposed, and you're
exposed,
worried
yeah.
because
Okay.
they did such a good job of balancing raw explosive power once you're in this mech. And the mech, like I love mech fighting
Yes.
games and mech shooting games, and like the mechs feel like mechs and they feel clunky and they feel good. And usually when you're doing a mech shooter, it's like mech versus mech. So
Right,
like
yeah.
the fast mechs feel like fast mechs and the thing. And people feel like flat, like, like, I don't know, just like in the way.
Right,
yeah.
Right? And that's what should
Bugs
have
on a windshield.
It was, yeah,
right,
bugs,
bugs
yeah.
on a windshield, right? And for certainly facing down
Yeah.
a Titan,
Yeah.
like face to face, you are a bug on a
You
windshield.
can punch pilots out of the air.
Yeah.
and just like jumping at you and you're like, what?
Yeah, right.
And
Sit your ass down.
that's definitely a part of it. So every part of it feels good. But guess what? You don't turn around very quickly.
No.
And all of your components are on your back.
Right.
And they can wall run and jump and have a grappling hook. And
Right.
and that's where it just starts to feel really freaking good, because the balance in between those two, it's just about the approach, right?
Right.
It's about, okay, how am I going to take this? And you feel good. It's 1,000 different David and Goliath scenarios happen.
Okay.
And you're either Goliath or David, and and it feels good
Yeah.
no matter which way.
That's
Not only that,
Right.
but you could also call a Titan down, stay out of it, and put it in like a standby sentry mode, and it would just like shoot shit for you.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
yeah.
Like, I was
Okay,
like,
cool.
I mean, it wasn't good, but it was good to be like, if you put that there, you could go do your run and jumpy thing while it was distracted with another Titan. So the strategies and all these
Yeah.
components, it was just
So
endless.
Yeah, so all the combat reasons you both love Titanfall are all the combat reasons I love Horizon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes perfect
Yeah.
sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's the unique almost puzzle problem solving on how to take something down is what's interesting. Like the moments of where you're like, I'm gonna call my Titan, make this lap, and take this sniper out, because they're not gonna see me get in it.
Right,
So
yeah.
they're just gonna try and avoid it. I'm gonna call it, I'm gonna make a loop onto that rooftop. I'm gonna assassinate that dude that would immediately take me out the
Right.
moment I get into my Titan.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna jump into my Titan from that rooftop, and
Right.
then I'm gonna start fucking
Yeah.
shit up.
Fuck yeah.
And like that feels cool.
Yeah, that
like
feels
if
cool
you
as
can
fuck.
see it. And it feels equally as cool to get in your Titan and then have some little pilot come up and rip your battery out and you explode and you're
You're just like,
oh
oh,
shit! Like, I did not play that well.
Yeah,
right? But
right.
you know what's happening. And it's just like that balance is just really, really good.
Yeah, that's like when you're playing Horizon and like you have the teeniest, tiniest little bot come up from behind you that you don't fucking know is there,
Yep.
and it just whacks you one. You're like, oh shit!
Yeah.
I'm
Where did
running.
it come from?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And
I'm
all of that
excited
is what
for
was
you guys.
missing from Apex.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
why it was a bummer
Yeah.
for because like I mean there's no Titans like
Yeah.
there, it's just in that but
Yeah.
there's like the guns are the same.
Yeah. Yeah. And they fire the same. They don't feel the same.
They don't feel the same.
No.
No.
And the movement is light.
But
So
we
it's
gave
like,
it to you with the same title.
Yeah.
You should
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. Oh, the movement's so light.
It's
I don't
so
even
light.
think there's wall running.
I think you can wall run.
There's
Is there some wall running?
You can slide.
I think
Okay.
the
Slide
certain
is there.
characters can wall run.
Okay. Yeah.
Boom.
Oh yeah, they did have some characters that could, or there was one at least that could do
wall
it.
run.
Yeah, there was like a special trait or whatever they had.
Once,
Like
yeah.
gibbity doodah. Did
Yeah.
they call it pilot?
Yeah.
Well, that's fucking disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, thank
super,
you.
Yeah.
super lame.
Well,
Yeah.
that's super exciting.
Yeah.
for you
So
guys.
I
That's
hope
awesome.
I hope it's real. If
Yeah.
anybody's listening to this,
Make it happen.
make it happen,
Don't
do
please.
Kickstarter.
do that to them. They're gonna both.
Dude, do not.
Don't you put bad juju on Titanfall 3, big dog.
Hey.
I'm not wishing bad juju on y'all.
Okay.
I think
Uh-oh.
in this current, I guess, world,
Mm-hmm.
it might be a universe. I can see it. I think Xbox, especially, they throw money at stuff.
Yeah.
They trying new stuff out. South of Midnight, Expedition 33. I think there's a world there. Like let's run it back, see what happens.
Yeah.
I think it's more of it's probably happening than us know it's happening. You know what I mean?
I think the difficulty is getting a studio that owns that's also making Apex and the money that Apex is
Right,
making
yeah.
to just prioritize a game that is not going to do Apex numbers.
Yeah.
Because that
right?
bottom line is the dollar
Yeah.
bill.
And
Yeah.
I
And
think
it
the
can't
hope,
not be respawn. So
right.
Yeah.
And I
Here's what I'll
think
say though. Here's what I'll say though.
Oh, it's a respawn.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is, but it's under like
Things
the
make
EA
sense.
umbrella,
It
right?
all makes sense
Yeah.
now.
might be under E EA.
Because I'm just saying, if you recently had to put out like a big Dragon Age type fire, you could be looking for an easy dub.
easy dub. Titanfall 3.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
see my point?
Dragon Age.
You heard it
Did
here
you say a
first.
Dragon Age sized fire?
Yeah,
Was it positioned in a dumpster?
it was a big game,
Oh man.
big ass fire,
floating
Yeah.
down a river.
floating down the river in a van by the river.
Oh man,
Oh,
more
shit.
South of Midnights. Yeah.
But you know, what I'm saying? I think looking at it maybe from EA, I don't necessarily know how game development works. But if you recently had shit, wouldn't you try to go for not shit? And if that call was there,
I don't know.
you have to see it. You know, they kind of want a Titanfall 3.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
want it.
I think they would. Here's a couple dollars.
We're in need
Here's
of
a check.
a shooter that feels good.
Yeah.
So I don't. I mean, I haven't played any of the new Call of Duty, so I don't
'Cause
know
why?
how it is.
Fuck Call of Duty.
Yeah, I mean, since
Respectful.
Warzone, I haven't really played it. But again, nothing like that's why I started playing Destiny because the gunplay and all that stuff just felt so good and so natural, and it just made sense. And then when Titanfall 2 and all that was out, I was like, this is incredible, and it was easy to go back and forth. And then I play something like Call of Duty or some other first-person shooter that wasn't maybe as big, and I'm like, why does this feel so
Like shit.
Yeah.
So because they don't prioritize that, anyways.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
A shooter that feels good, you say?
yes.
Something made perhaps by the same people that made Halo and Destiny?
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
nah, they're not making anymore. They're shutting Destiny 14.
You mean like Marathon?
Like Marathon, yes. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
face
I mean,
Scared me.
yeah.
Scarathon.
Marathon. I haven't gotten to play it yet, but
You do have the alpha.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's windows. I think my window comes up in like 3 days, 4 days,
T-minus
which
4
is
days.
unfortunate.
I was about to say.
Oh, yeah.
That's
You
a
guys will be
big
out of
fucking
town.
bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a
That
heavy
sucks.
packing for you.
Yeah.
Man.
So I'm hoping that I get into another one.
Yeah.
Because obviously we will be playing Pokemon.
Oh, just
But-
had sad memories of
In
Survivor
Milwaukee.
coming out and I had to travel for work.
But yeah.
Yes.
But that being said, there's a lot of people that have gotten their hands on it. They are really prioritizing making sure that
Streamers
every batch of alphas has people from like a different community that they're
Yeah.
tied
Oh, cool.
to here.
Yeah.
So they like really went after Halo people in the like first alpha. This last one had like Destiny and Tarkov players
Yeah.
in it.
Okay.
Like active streamers of Destiny and Tarkov in it.
Mhm.
Nobody likes it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, no. The same thing I
It's
said
a weird
when
space, man.
The same thing I said. Yeah, it's a.
Yeah. Who you making this for?
Who the fuck is this
Yeah.
game for?
Yeah.
Other than me,
Yeah.
who is this
Yeah.
game for?
You picked
right?
a weird
Like-
audience, right? Is
Yeah,
what you're
because
kind of driving
I
at?
am not an extraction shooter. I don't like extraction shooters.
Right.
I mean, what was the one? Was it The Division. Who
Yeah.
had the one?
Tom Clancy?
There was one that you had to extract something. I think, the Division had something like that when you went into the dark zone or whatever that was.
Sure.
But there was another one that had, or no, I think Call of Duty had DMZ
Yeah.
or whatever. That was also an extraction,
No, well,
wasn't it?
Yeah, Call of Duty had a.
Yeah.
Call of Duty had one recently.
Yeah, there was one. Yeah, I think it was called
recently
DMZ.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know.
Yeah.
DMZ
No.
Is that not what it was?
is their like their battle royale counterpart.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think
I
it
don't
might
know.
have just been called Extraction.
Okay,
I don't
sure,
know shit
whatever,
about
whatever.
that.
Anyways,
Or
but
the Division.
the Division was like third person, was like a Destiny,
Right,
but
yeah,
plus an
yeah.
extraction
Right, yeah,
component,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like when you got
Okay.
to, they pulled you out, which Destiny also has, but it was never this is specifically a Tarkov style
It's very
extraction
much so.
game.
Like you
or
die, you lose everything.
you die, you lose everything.
Right.
Kind of has the same veins of DayZ from way back when, and although there was never like that was always happening. So
Yeah.
that was more like an MMO extraction game.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, when you die, everything you brought into the battlefield is staying on the battlefield,
Right.
right? And it's going to leave with somebody else.
Yeah.
Um,
Which means I will never be taking anything off of the battlefield.
it's cool. It's interesting. I like. It's the same type of things and moments that a Battlegrounds game gets to you. Only more moments where you're like, and I think I'm done for tonight.
Right. Yeah.
Sure, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Where like,
Yeah, like,
That's
oh,
enough.
okay, turn it off.
because there are. It does sometimes have that thing where like you were like, okay, we're just gonna go in. We're gonna suit up. We're gonna go in way overpowered for this
Right,
thing that
yeah.
we're gonna do.
Yeah.
We're gonna skirt most of the general battlefield because we're just going to get this key card that we need to be able to unlock something back in the base.
Right,
And
yeah.
you just run into some other people that are doing exactly the same thing that
Yep.
you are.
Just traveling
that
to
are-
a boss in Elden Ring.
Yeah. And
Okay, we're just
and-
gonna go real fast.
Yep. And you're just trying to get in, get out, and then be done as soon
Right.
as the extraction is
Yeah,
open.
sure.
And whatever that spot that was supposed to be nothing was way hotter than it was
Right,
than you
yeah.
thought it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
The thing that Tarkov did great that I don't know whether or not Marathon is going to do, and I'm wondering if Marathon's actually these heroes that they're giving us is what those are going to be. But Tarkov had like you could play. What's up?
I'm just listening.
Okay.
Y'all don't know how to active listen?
You had an
had
energy
a-
of
yeah,
somebody
like-
who was
like-
ready to say something to me.
The look was like, I'm
Anyways,
in.
yeah. So
Anyway.
Tarkov had the ability to, you could make a run with your private contractor as often as you wanted.
Okay.
But once every 30 minutes, you could go in as like an NPC.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And so everything you brought out with your NPC came back into your base and your private contractor could use, right?
Okay.
But you couldn't load them out with anything.
All right.
So you're going in with shit gear.
right. Yeah.
A broken AK-47
Right.
and a trash bag for a
Right, yes.
tactical vest, right? But literally, I'm not
I'm
joking.
not-
And you're
one
wearing
of-
brown pants.
one of the one of the tack vests that you can wear as one of the NPC characters is an IKEA bag. It's like it is an IKEA bag. So anyway, but like you could go into those, and so those were like the low stakes runs that you could make,
Okay,
right? Because
yeah.
it's just a net gain or a wash, right?
Okay.
You're gonna
Okay.
go in, you can get some gear, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
maybe
not,
not, maybe not.
right? Like, and,
Look, Mom, we're
and-
trash.
right?
Yeah.
And the NPCs don't the other actual NPCs don't attack you when you're in that mode,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Unless you start attacking them.
Gotcha.
Then your ref goes down. They're like, "Wait,
Right.
what the fuck's going on with you, Bill? What? We were friends."
Right. We had dinner together yesterday.
Yeah.
You like my mom, dude.
You married my sister.
It's that.
right,
yeah,
yeah.
big time.
Yeah. All of those lines are in the game.
Yes, all of them. It's
shit.
definitely not a Russian cryptocurrency mining piece of software. So, but it's a lot of fun. That dynamic is a lot of fun. All stakes all the time, which is
Yeah.
kind of what Marathon's got going for it right now.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of meat.
That's tough.
That's rough, right?
Yeah,
like
that's tough.
because you're always going to have been losing something
Yeah.
that you earned.
Right,
You
yeah,
know?
that's tough.
And there's not a lot that feels good about that equation, right?
Especially when your gaming time is constrained.
Especially when
Yeah.
your gaming time
It's like
is
when I'm playing something like Destiny or something, at least everything that I'm earning or unlocking is something that stays around.
Right,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
they're not
But
stripping
I
things
think
from you.
that's always been the issue with those types of games because it's just like, how am I ever going to be good? Because
Yeah.
I would just have to string together perfect run after perfect run after perfect run, or I'll never,
Yeah.
carry stuff that I need.
Right.
Or you just have fun trying to find things as you go
Mm-hmm.
and just having a fun run, which is able to do that too. I do like the bots and stuff that they have, the AI that they have in that. Some of that stuff gets pretty nasty because they have easy rollover type enemies, and they also have ones that are like, holy shit,
Right, yeah.
like on the battlefield playing against you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
and of course you're always battling those guys when another team finds you. So.
Right.
Naturally.
Yeah, or
yeah.
somebody. Yeah, I mean that stuff happens, right? That's just always going to happen in those scenarios. I mean, that's part of the strategy,
Yeah, it's
right?
part of the game, yeah.
Like especially if you also need to take those guys out, let them weaken each other,
Yeah, right. And then I'll pick them
and then
off.
I'll pick them all
Right,
off,
while
right?
they're healing or something. Yeah.
Which is
It's a strat.
it's a strategy,
It is.
right?
It
Like,
is.
Hey,
the good thing, the reason that I did want to talk about it, and I mean, me being excited because I'm in the one tiny Venn diagram of people that they were making this game for.
Sure.
Universally, everybody's like, the shooting feels good,
Okay.
right? Like,
Let's start with that.
like,
Yeah.
and so,
good
and I think
groundwork.
for a game that's in alpha, that's okay.
Yeah.
Right. I
least
just
start
think maybe from a marketing strategy point, it's weird for a game to be in that level and for you to be like, let's get the biggest name streamers,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
to like in each one of our spaces
Yeah.
to start having opinions about this.
Sure.
And not letting less influential people that still love your games, because part of getting in the alpha is filling out like a 15-minute long survey where they literally it's just like, how big of a fan are you?
Right.
Like that's the whole thing,
Yeah,
right?
right.
How
Like,
long have you played Bungie games?
how long have you played Bungie games? What do you like
Yes.
about Bungie games? What do you like about first-person shooters? What do you like about all this, right? And
Right.
so like,
That's too much info.
if
Data
you
mining your brain.
if you checked the right boxes there, it probably would have made more sense to just like let idiots like me go play it.
Right,
And
yeah.
be like, here's what I think's good, here's what I think's bad.
Yeah.
Take with that whatever you want.
Right.
And then go it. And let us figure out what's not working and not like general people. And then once you have a more refined, this is the finished product. The worrisome is maybe they thought that's where this was at before they're letting everybody in and thing. But the shooting feels good. It's a marathon game. I'm gonna play it because I have liked marathon for many years. That starts in decades.
I like the art style. I like the music and the sound effects and stuff that they're kind of doing. I don't know about the UI yet. Still, it's a little. I mean, I get what they're going for, like that super kind of robotic, super kind of supercalifragilistic. But yeah, it's a little. I don't know. I feel like they dialed it a little bit too much to that.
Sure.
But it could have been. Yeah, whatever.
There are parts of it that, frankly, right now for me, watching video of it being played is difficult to read.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because of how much they're the neons and all this stuff. I like the art style that they're going for.
Right.
It is not what Marathon used to look like a Halo game.
Right. Yeah.
That was the aesthetic. Halo's really just a sequel to Marathon.
They're
but
all in the same universe. Even Destiny.
they're kind of given that vibe with this because there's some like backgrounds that definitely have the fucking Traveler behind them. Even maybe it's not the Traveler, but
We'll leave that to Bife.
It's
Just go
all
watch a Bife video.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so those are my two things: Titanfall and Marathon. Lots of shooting.
Lots of shooting stuff.
That's so violent.
Ron, are you ready?
So
Okay.
I had a rough couple weeks. Lost a family member, which was a super big bummer. But during that time down, I had a lot of time to play video games. So I was playing tons of video games. Played South of Midnight, beat that. I finished Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and then also started Survivor as well. All games, which are just hope and death. And but like especially like South of Midnight or whatever, there's lots of like healing and all that stuff. So like all of them kind of had like a very similar trope. So it kind of got me through that kind of stuff.
A lot of that in Survivor too.
Yeah, and I'm already noticing.
Yeah.
So
It's wholesome, but it's hard.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so my kind of topic was, I was just thinking of, obviously I use this as something to kind of distract. But I was wondering how we do gaming. Like what is it that drives us to play?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously it changes over time, and I have some, how things have been and where I'm currently sitting and how we play games. But like, what is it? Is it just because fun, or are you distracted, or like what's your main reason for picking up the sticks?
Well, I think for me, it's a combination. Growing up, it just felt kind of looking for a distraction from the things I can't control.
Sure.
Which led me into gaming where I control everything. Like The Sims, anything with a good creation suite, I'm there. I might not like the gameplay,
right?
But bet you I made some things in it.
I am God. Yes.
Not like to give myself a plex, but I have a lot of hours in The Sims for a very exact reason. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of mods for The Sims.
The first AKA is him for a reason.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm omnipotent.
Omnipotent.
But yeah, that's what I would look for. And it's changed over time.
Yeah.
Different games scratch different itches, but the main itch has always been distracting from things that I can't control. So I play games where I control everything.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah. So I think it's definitely been, there are some games that I do just play for fun, right?
Yeah.
But if I had to think about like really why I started getting into video games, little history about me. I grew up in the thank you for that. I grew up in the middle of nowhere, and I came out of the closet pretty young. I came out when I was 15, and coming out in that area was not a pleasant experience.
Right.
And for a little added context, I grew up in a fundamentalist evangelical church.
Perfect spot for you.
So there was a lot of adversity in my coming of age era. And so I was fortunate in that I was already just kind of a nerdy kid as it was. And my dad was into video games and he started playing video games with me. I can feel myself getting choked up. That's weird. Anyway.
How dare you have emotions?
No. And so that space, for me, I had friends who were also nerds that played video games. And those friends were, by and large, the ones that stuck with me when everything was weird.
Gotcha.
And everything was hard. And also, even if those friends couldn't come over to play video games, I had friends at my fingertips.
Right, yes.
And I lived in those worlds. I was also and I still am, a really big reader. And so I had a very similar experience to books. Okay. Which is why I have always gravitated towards other universes to exist in.
Sure.
Because ultimately I want to go to be in a place and space that's safe, right? And so that's really like when I think about the times in my life where I've struggled the most, that's when I gravitate the most towards like full immersion in a game. And I'm specifically looking for something story-driven, compelling, something to think about, a place to immerse myself in that is not here right now. And so like in my previous relationship, we struggled a lot towards the end of it, and I played a lot of video games. And that's specifically when I got really into The Witcher 3.
Gotcha.
And so I have found that having these universes where you see really compelling, it does get better stories too. And being the hero, the person who can help, the person who feels like they're doing the right thing and doing the good thing, has always been a piece of me that I've gravitated to. And now just in my day in and day out life, it's a hobby that I enjoy with my spouse, right? And so generally speaking, it's a good, happy place. But if I'm not doing so hot, I'm putting on headphones and playing a video game. And it's gonna be something that that I already love. Like I'm probably gonna turn on Breath of the Wild, and it's just that's what I like. That's gonna happen because I know what's gonna happen. I know how it's going to play out, and I know it's going to make me feel good to do the good thing, right? So that's kind of where so it seems like maybe we have some similar.
Sure. Go to your happy place.
Go to my happy place, or immerse in a story. Yeah.
Sure.
When you were 15, what game do you remember the most as your favorite?
Assassin's Creed. My friend had video game, had an Xbox 360. And he brought it over and we played a lot of Assassin's Creed because I got to jump in and take care of these evil zealots.
Yes.
Who were trying to control everybody. It's weird. It's real little on the nose.
As my daughter would say.
So Assassin's Creed was big for me. And then also just killing the fuck out of zombies in Left 4 Dead.
Nice.
Let me just blow them up. Killing them made me feel better as everything exploded, and I feel good now. I killed all the bad guys. So
lighting it on fire is never a mistake.
Nope, it felt really good every time I blew something up, baby.
Are we all on fire? Yeah, still not a mistake.
Still not a mistake. Am I dead? Sure. Did I kill all the bad guys? Yup.
For sure.
Fuck it. I cast fireball.
Yeah. So those were it. And I would always go back to Wind Waker too, because that game was more like 12-ish years old. But I stayed steady on that GameCube.
Nice.
So you think it started in escapism for you and has formed into something different, or does it still stay as like an escape? Is it still an escape? Or is there something active in the practice now for you?
I think it's definitely a decompression tool from the day in and day out monotony, right? Yeah. And so like, if I've had a rough go of it today, I will definitely want to toss myself into a video game for an hour or two.
Yeah.
But it's not explicitly that territory.
Right.
It is definitely my comfort zone in that moment. But because like when I think about where I really first was introduced to video games, it's funny, it's full circle. I started playing video games sitting next to my dad on the floor. And now I sit next to my wife on the couch.
Okay.
And so it's a companion experience now.
Yeah.
But when it was really rough, it was let me in this place so I don't have to be in this place.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like...
So companionship.
I think it's interesting because I have a hard time with one answer, like why I play games,
there is
right?
And it's not one for one answer for sure.
And it's definitely through different points of times, different reasons, right?
Absolutely.
Like it's definitely, sometimes it's like I don't think I can make it to tomorrow if I don't play a video.
But
I think the throughput through all of it, like in all of its different forms, it's the first thing I ever remember in conscious thought making sense. So like part of what I deal with day in, day out, and just this low bubbling, just constant state of anger that I live in is that nothing ever makes sense.
Easy Hulk boy.
Do you say Hulk is your favorite superhero?
Hulk is my favorite superhero. Yeah. Nothing ever makes sense. Like the way anybody acts never makes sense to me. The way the world works never makes sense to me. And that's very, very frustrating. Just to be super clear and transparent. Video games were the first thing where it's like, here's the rules. It's not the control element of it because half the time I'm fucking terrible at it. Right? Like
story mode, engage.
It's the I know what the rules are. I know what the goal is. I know what the rules are. And that's why, like, one of the worst things that a game can be is unclear for me. Like, that's the fastest thing for me to depart from a gaming experience when it's just like, no, now it's this. Probably the same reason I hate when there's a fucking fake boss bar. Right? Like, that wasn't the rules.
Those aren't the rules.
You broke the rules.
That's how this works.
And, like, so we have processes and we have rules and we have engagement. And, like, I'm not looking for, like, rules, so to speak, as a human being, right? Like that's not my vibe. But like, I don't like when it's disproportionate. I don't like inequity or hidden meaning
all chaos all the time.
or like or anything like that. And so for me, games universally scratch all of the things that I am looking for order
Right.
in my life, right? And so like if I'm having a hard time, my brain's going a million miles a minute, and I've got to refocus. I've got to like, and I do meditate, like, and that works, right? But sometimes video games are a better meditation for me than actually sitting on and meditating, only because it gives my brain something to do.
Right. Yeah.
To start making the traffic get in its lanes.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I've heard meditation referred to as like, you're an observer watching traffic pass by. Right. And when we're not emotionally regulating, we're grabbing onto the bumper of one of the cars, the emotions, and just letting it drag us somewhere. Where meditation is taking each thought, each idea, and compartmentalizing it and going, here's this. I can do that better after a gaming session, or sometimes even actively during a gaming session if it's not something that because and then the dangerous part of it for me is sometimes I like it so much I'm just like, well, I just want to live here. This is
right.
Like I just want to do this. And so it can have a dangerous part of escapism to it if you're not self-aware in the engagement. I think that's we'd be remiss to not at least talk about the fact that like for some people that can be the drug.
Yes.
Sure.
Right. But and at some points in my life, it was right. Yeah. Just to be very clear, especially during parts of my life where I was eliminating actual drugs. And so. But now, where I'm at now, and the stage that I am, it's a little bit of all things, right? When I'm grieving, a game helps me sort those thoughts. Maybe if not actively during, at least in the clarity that I have after from feeling the weight of like, okay, this made sense. Like, the logic was sound. It all made through. But also, if I'm having a great day, I want to sit down and play a good game, right? Yeah. Like, and video gaming is not just the only component of that, right? It's the same thing that draws me to like playing a TCG or playing a board game, right? Just gaming in general. Hey, we're all sitting down, right? Like when I could play a board game, there's some people that are really, really big on like, like checking the rule book 1,001 times while they're playing a board game. And even one of the things that endears me to my gaming group that I play board games with the most is we try and obviously know the game that we're playing and playing by the rules. But most of the rule lawyering happens after we've finished a game where we're all like, that mechanic doesn't really make sense the way we played it. And then we'll go back, flip through, and then we'll put an asterisk and be like, hey, for the next time we play, we were all doing that wrong. But you know what? If we're all doing it wrong, if we're all aware of what we thought the rule was, and we all did it equally wrong,
really doing it wrong.
We broke the experience that the game designer intended. But we all were playing along the same exact rules.
We all played the same game.
Which is exactly why when I'm learning a board game from somebody and they do a whole teach and then we're 3/4 of the way through the game and then they're like, oh, by the way, this thing I've been doing the entire time that you guys didn't know about because I was the one teaching you how to play this game. This is the rule, and I'm gonna make 1,000 points at the end. I'm like, man, why the fuck were we doing that? Because I would have made 1,000 different decisions leading up to this point. But it happens in good faith, and it's like a legitimate accident.
Guys, I forgot this part.
My reaction in my brain is still the same thing as what just happened, but I still I can understand how that happens. I'm like, okay, that's all right. I'm still bummed by it, significantly. But
still F you right now.
But
punch this Uno reverse card through your skull.
But anytime it happens and it's not in good faith, I'm like, man, I'm definitely never playing a game. And so. I think that's it for me. I think it's the order. It's the set rules. I like problem solving. I legitimately like thinking of creative ways to solve problems and all that sort of stuff. But I hate doing it in the normal world because there's always some bullshit thing that wasn't clear ahead of the problem.
Corporate jargon that's in a
That's
contract,
the other piece. Yeah, that's the other piece of what I, on the whole, love about video games is that I've been assigned a task with specifications and rules, and now I'm going to complete that task.
Right.
And I want a task, and I did the task. I want a new task, and now I've done the task. Right. And so, like, I think for me, that basic itch, when everything is chaotic, or even if I've had a good day, I still just like having a task and doing the task. It feels good to me. It scratches parts of my brain that I like. It's why I've got 100 fucking hours now in Dreamlight.
100
I looked
hours.
before I left. I went, wow, 100 hours. And and my wife goes, you better tell the guys that tonight because they're all going to look at you like Roger did. And because I have been assigned tasks by Disney characters and I don't want to disappoint them.
Do not disappoint Disney characters ever.
But it feels good.
They're standing at the foot of your bed.
Yeah, I'll go pick those flowers and make you a fucking pretty fucking whatever. I got it. I'm on it.
That's why they're mad about you getting a real word job. They had a bunch of shit they needed you to be doing.
Yeah, seriously.
First Rachel bit.
She didn't make my awning.
Yeah.
I needed
my
my
house.
motherfucking fruit salad.
Mickey doesn't eat fruit salad. That lion sack of game.
But yeah, I'm right there with you. Yeah.
I mean, for my stuff, like it was always like, I mean, I'm a little bit older, so it was like Nintendo and stuff. When Nintendo and then Sega, when the guys would just like my next door neighbors would come over to my house and play, So that's all it was. And like I didn't really like playing by myself then, so I spent more time outside. So like I didn't like single player stuff. I just liked to play Mortal Kombat with my friends or something like that.
Yeah.
Who's your main character?
Huh?
Who's your main Mortal Kombat character?
Oh God. Well, I had Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate. I loved Smoke.
Okay.
And also Nightwolf.
Nightwolf went hard.
Wow.
Nightwolf. I haven't thought about Nightwolf.
Nightwolf went fucking hard, dude. He don't get no respect.
Yeah. Or Noob, but whatever. Noob Saiba. Anyways, so it was more of that, and then later when internet and all that stuff, then it was more of a connection thing. So like, friends moved away and whatever, and that was just a way for us to keep in contact. But like now I think I'm more at the point, not that I don't like those relationships to continue, but obviously I don't have the time that these guys have to play.
Sure.
So, but now I'm at a point where I need that single player story driven experience, sometimes to escape. This past couple weeks, I needed just a straightforward fucking story, so like, especially South of Midnight had an incredible 12-hour story. It was very
your time parameters.
very, very tight time, but I absolutely loved that story. Yeah. And it was just like so needed the last couple weeks. So but yeah, so I think nowadays it's less of a connection thing and more of just like being able to escape into a different world, like you said, just to kind of not be this and be this.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it feels very much like a book at that point, right? Yeah. So, but I can get more done in a game. 3 pages, sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I am with that.
Awesome.
So.
Big man. Dog.
Yeah.
All right.
Rachel.
All right. So one of the things that we kind of touched on when we were talking about Outlaws last week was player expectations. And my question is that I want to pitch to you guys first is where do we as gamers and fans of things draw the line between this isn't what I wanted because I want it.
Yeah.
And this is objectively bad. Like when we are making an assessment of something, how do we hold ourselves, like, do we hold ourselves accountable and thinking about that before we start spouting off that I fucking hate this game, right? You know, is it a trap we fall into? And no answer's wrong. I'm just curious, like, what your experience has been with that stuff,
There's
because
maybe a few answers that are probably wrong.
the answers at the table, I don't assume will be wrong. I don't mean all there. I mean right here.
I'm just going to go ahead right now and dunk marathon into this as a game I do not want.
You're gonna get that off.
I want the gunplay.
Yeah.
I don't want to play the game.
Yeah, so that's what I mean, right? Is like I'm thinking, because I was thinking, I really thought about it after I went home, and I was like, I wonder if I guess I'll just kind of give you my answer. I wonder if I'm a little like softer on my criticism than other people would be. I've found that typically I like a lot of things that the public on the whole say, this thing sucks.
Yeah.
So you're in the minority?
And so, but when
You're in the minority?
it would appear
Minority
that
minute.
I'm in the minority on a whole lot of levels.
I am not.
Charlie Day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I think that my answer is I think I tend to be a little soft on things if they are part of a universe that I am typically fond of. So like Star Wars, I'm more gracious with in its video game content. I'm not gracious with film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
But my opinions on the films are very different from a lot of quote unquote Star Wars fans who I think ruin everything. Anyway, so yeah, that's where I feel like I land, and I would be curious to hear your experiences. Where do you feel like you land on that spectrum? Hit me.
I'm a bit contrarian.
What?
Nah.
It can't be.
Crazy. But I've found myself recently kind of trying to like reflect on that. So like, for example, has nothing to do with video games, but I'm a big vampire guy. Y'all have heard me talk about Blade.
Blade, yeah.
Saw Sinners.
Okay.
No spoilers or anything, but at first, I didn't like it at all.
Sure.
I'm in the minority. But as I thought about it, kind of like vocalized my thoughts with my girlfriend who also saw it with me. I was like, did I not like the movie, or did I just not like the vampires at first?
Okay.
Sure.
That's one.
Okay.
Thought about that.
Their fangs were in their skull. What?
And then I thought, going a little deeper, Dragon Age. Dragon Age Veilguard. I liked it.
Here we are.
Thought about it a little bit more. Maybe I didn't like it.
He's coming around, folks.
Because I thought it, not to compare it to Dragon Age Inquisition, which is the one who came right before it, but Dragon Age Inquisition felt there was nothing to copy, right?
Okay.
And that criticism I kind of mentioned when I was reading reviews of Veilguard is that it feels like God of War. It's because it fucking feels like God of War.
Okay.
And I'm like, that is my criticism. Instead of coming up with something new, or even just piggybacking off of Inquisition. There's nothing wrong with that. But they didn't do that and copped out to a format that didn't feel true to what the games were.
Okay.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So reflecting on that, thinking about kind of what my expectations have been for things, I think the line is be yourself, dog. You know what I mean? Don't conform to what you think your fan base will want.
Or what's popular at the time.
Or what's popular at the time. Because it starts to feel like a cop-out. It just, we didn't want to come up with something new.
Yeah.
This thing is popping right now. Let's just go with that.
Yeah, right.
And that's not cool. That's not fun.
So you're saying be true to yourself.
Yeah.
And so what I actually interpret is that like give the game its integrity it deserves, and
without sacrificing anything.
right. Okay.
If you wanted the game to start with Outlaws,
What do you want the game to be?
what do you want the game to be? Stick to that gun.
Are you saying from the creation standpoint, like
Yeah.
when they're creating something?
Yeah.
So from from a consuming standpoint, like both of your examples, you said like your initial reaction was one thing, and a negative in one, and then a positive in the second one, and so. Do you think in both of those it was an expectation you brought into it that made you dislike it or like it more than maybe it earned was sitting with you?
Yeah.
And then like so specifically with Sinners, I'm not asking you to spoil the movie because I actually haven't seen it yet and I'm kind of interested. But like what about sitting with you made it grow on you? Or was it actually just communicating and talking with other people and seeing their point of view that like helped?
Kind of communicating it out, kind of reflecting on like what did I enjoy, and it was like a lot of this,
Sure.
not that much of that,
Yeah.
and the common denominator was this one specific aspect,
Right.
and then my expectations with that. Like I said, love vampires. Thinking about it more, I actually enjoyed the concept of those vampires because, and I think this is what it is, those vampires feel new.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I wasn't prepared for.
Yeah.
So it's your preconceived notion of what a vampire should be
Yeah.
got in your way.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think like so huge. Like there's a huge idea there that you're tripping onto, which is the same thing that because I have a massive contrarian streak in me. Like, but. Yeah,
I
Island
know.
of my own. I'm the only person that's excited about marathons.
My friends are too. Don't worry about it. They're into it.
Well, I'm the only person that maintains excitement of marathon as more and more people play it and are like, no, this isn't for anybody. I'm like,
yeah.
It's for me.
Yeah, no, yeah, like,
It's
I'm
for me.
looking at what you're playing. I want to do that.
I'm getting that tattooed to my skull.
But like the interesting component of that is probably around when I was your age, I started to realize that like my initial contrarianness sometimes overwhelmed which is why I asked you the question that I did, like overwhelmed my actual ability to enjoy things I actually was liking.
Right.
Right? And so sometimes it's like, oh, everybody's liking this. Nah, fuck it.
Nah,
Yeah.
fuck it.
Or that's not what that's too good of an answer, so I don't like that. Or that's too like, whatever it may be. Or on the inverse side, liking some really artsy shit that just wasn't actually good. Right? Like,
It's deeper than that, dude.
yeah. And
You
so
don't pay
like,
attention, man.
Yeah.
so
You don't like it, you're just not paying attention. That's what it is.
You're just not cool.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we
Real
were
quick
both
on
that
that one.
douchebag for a period of
Sure,
time.
sure.
Okay, cool.
I am still that douchebag. There's a hill I will die on. I will not reflect on it.
Okay.
I will commit fully to this idea.
Holding the
Say it.
mirror up
Say
right
it.
now. Reflection.
Jordan fucking Peele movies are not good.
Oh, you already kind of
Yeah.
dropped that.
Yeah, we already know
I
that.
fully disagree. That's okay. You
That's
can be
all right.
wrong about some things.
I mean, explain us to me.
Huh?
Explain
No.
us.
No.
No, we're not doing this right now. We're not doing this right now.
Wait.
We're not doing this right now. And I, a white dude at the table, am not going to explain us to you.
Nope.
That is not happening. Just to be very clear, nice try, internet. That was bait. I learned my lesson from last week.
Just baited.
I'm a masturbator.
So what I think is cool about that, and I think
you
about the group, I think the capacity for so many things to open up at the tail end of that is like, first off and foremost, I think the shared universal experience, we talked about it a little bit with like when people love an artist and then they turn out to be different. No, I'm not talking about horrific people, but just different
Yeah,
than what
sure.
people expected.
Right.
It never feels good to be disappointed.
Right.
right? And expectation is the leader and opposite of disappointment.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're never disappointed by something that is precisely what you expected it to be.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But you're also never absolutely blown away by anything that is exactly what you expected it to be.
Yes.
Right? And so everything that you loved exceeded your expectations, and everything that you hate, generally speaking, we're talking about subjective media. I'm not mean like hate.
Right, yeah.
I mean like, oh man, I didn't like that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's generally because it didn't meet your expectations.
Right.
And that's okay. Both of those are okay, as long as at some point in time in the line, you're testing what your expectations were.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I talked about this a little bit when we talked, maybe it was last episode, but I think a few episodes ago, we talked about like armchair developing and armchair writing fan fictions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like, I do that shit all the time.
Yeah.
And Dave Filoni, what I love so much about the Star Wars that he creates is that he subverts my expectations. He doesn't do the thing that I expect in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
But then somehow still exceeds them in every
Yeah.
But it had if I didn't ever check my expectations, it'd have the capacity for me to go like, oh, this is like, this is bad. I hate this. I don't like this.
It doesn't align. Yeah.
So I think for me, that's a huge component of it, right? For me, I think a huge component of whether or not I'm going to glom onto something and love it is whether or not it, the things I love the most at this stage in my life are the things that throw my expectations out the fucking window and go, we're doing something completely different and better.
Yeah.
In the same way that you're kind of saying like, oh my gosh, the movie that you just went and saw. Sinners, thank you. I was like, Simples. It's not Simples. What's happening? Sinners.
Skinners.
Sinners did, right? Took your expectations, like what your expectations of what a vampire are, and threw them out the window.
Yeah.
And went, this is what we're doing now.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can either go like, no, fuck you, I'm out, right? Which is fine,
Right.
right? Or you can go, all right, let's see what you got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And there's so much fruit at the end of that. Let's see what you got. Even though like my gut reaction is always like, oh, man,
Yeah.
you know, every time there's a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles announced, I'm just like,
that'd be a deep one.
man.
Yeah.
But then opening up to it, seeing it for what it is, and going like, okay. I personally have just found that there's a lot more joy to have in the world in just going like, that was trash, but here's what I liked about it.
Yeah, exactly.
The Michael Bay Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies are hot garbage.
Yep.
They are bad movies.
Yeah.
Yep. I rewatch them.
I do not like them. However,
Sam, I am.
However, I really liked the fact that they leaned into the character designs of making them very, very individualistic, right?
Give them nostrils.
No, not that part. Give them human teeth. Like the ideas of like them expressing their individuality was really, really strong in that. And if they're teenagers, that's exactly what they would be fucking doing. Right? That's what everybody's doing. Even if it's through some weird, perverse formation of conformity, every teenager is trying to express their identity like unabashedly. Like, this is me now. Right?
Yeah, this is who I am.
Right. And so
Stop it, Dad.
Yeah. You know, like so that is a part of that I can look at and go, that was rad. And now I get to take that and see those and go, those designs were cool. Movies are terrible. Those are cool. Right?
Yeah.
Let's check out the t-shirt.
Huh? Yeah. It's a rancid Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles mashup t-shirt.
But they don't have human teeth.
They do not have human teeth. They got big old clunky Jim Henson teeth.
Yes.
I think that's so important. And I think that's kind of maybe what I was actually saying, and you said it better than me. What I was saying is maybe I'm too soft in my analysis. But what it actually is that I am open, throw it at me. What you got? Let me see. And then I am very comfortable saying, wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I liked these 3 things. And I'm going to enjoy those and walk away and say these 3 things were the things I liked. Otherwise, not for me. And I think the even bigger thing that the more I think about it is that what I find frustrating and exhausting is that when people are like, well, you're wrong. You're wrong for liking whatever, right?
You shouldn't have liked anything.
You shouldn't have liked anything in this because the whole thing was garbage. No, actually, I chose to enjoy these components because I spent my time in doing it, right? And so, like, I guess that's what I mean when I'm saying I'm too gentle or whatever with my criticisms. What I really mean is I'm still looking for something to like about it. Do I always succeed? No. Not every time am I going to love something that still exists in something that was not for me, right? But I'm always looking for that because if I'm spending the time to do it, the goal is to have fun with it.
Yeah.
That's my objective, right? Like, let me spend 4 hours being fucking mad.
Right, yeah.
Why, right? Like, that's not my objective. So anyway, I think
it goes back to me and my wastage of time. So if I can find something good in something, then I can tell myself, all right, that wasn't I didn't waste 2 hours. Like,
right.
You know,
Yeah.
but I'm very much the same. I just cannot. Like, I'm definitely like so lenient on things. No matter how bad I say Apex is, I don't really care. It's not that, like, again, the game's not for me. It's not that.
Right.
Yeah.
The only thing, is that it's taking away from Titanfall. Whatever. But like it's really just but it's like I don't care, like it still has its good sides and downsides, but for the most part, like most games, just like if I'll give it a shot,
right,
but if I don't like it, like I'm not gonna like go on the internet and bash it. I just won't play it anymore.
Right.
I won't even tell people that it's shit. Like I'm like, it's just like, it wasn't for me. It's just kind of, it is what it is. But like, I mean, I'm playing the same 3 games in a row right now because I'm playing Jedi Fallen Order into South of Midnight, which is exactly the same game, by the way, sans lightsabers. Like gameplay is so similar, it's ridiculous. Like force push, force pull, swing, wall run, like it's all hang. Go like this, like it's very, very, very the same. Are these the games I like?
You just played Prince of Persia too?
What? Oh yeah, I just played Prince of Persia too.
Wall running,
jump,
wall running,
jump. It's the jump puzzles.
Wall running, jump puzzles, Destiny, wall running.
Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Wall running.
Ori, wall running.
Must have
Jumpies.
wall running and jumpies. Yes. Okay.
Jumpies.
All right. So I'm closing in
that's
on my genre.
Mobility Man, right?
Right. Yeah. Mobility Man.
That's
AKA Mobility Man.
Mobility Man.
Right, or lack thereof, if we're talking about my actual physical body. Yeah. No. That was it, man.
Going back real quick, Rachel.
Yeah.
Big dog. You said you kind of look for like something.
Yeah.
But if you don't find it, you don't find it.
Right.
What was your last like 0 likes found game?
God.
0 likes found.
0 likes found.
No likes detected.
Fortnite.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Turned it on.
What was it?
Fortnite.
Oh yeah.
One of my most favorite people in the world was like, play with me. And so I did.
With me.
Because my wife was also playing with her, and it's not really Sammy's game either. I don't think it's not really her jam. She was like, "You should try too," while Sammy takes a break, whatever. I started to move and exist in this world, and was like,
Nope,
hate it. I can't find anything I like about it because it's not my animation style.
Fair.
Not your movement style.
Not my movement style.
Valid.
Not my weapon style.
Definitely.
Yeah,
not my play style.
Hell
like
no.
But you know what? I love that you love that.
Sure.
I love that
it's
you
still
love
going.
it. I love that it's
there's
still
all the
going. I'm glad
DLCs.
it's a successful
Yeah.
game. It is not. It's not for your girl.
That's fair.
It's not for your girl.
I think it's a respectable development story of having to pivot on something and make something wildly successful.
Yeah.
It's hardcore right there with you. That is like I said, like that game shook me in a single play session so much I was like, maybe I'm supposed to quit playing video games.
No,
now.
seriously, I sat there and went, how fucking old am I?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And my
You
friend
flipped
who's
the case
playing
over, this
is my
game shook 'em.
age. Like, yeah, I was just like, oh, now I'm wrinkled and my hair is even more gray. But yeah, that's my last 0 likes found.
I think you two knocked on something that is huge, and gives me a follow-up question. Like, I know for me, like, learning to say this is not for me was a huge replacer to like this sucks.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Huge.
Right?
Sure.
Right?
I
Now,
also understand.
This is growing up.
right, like
Right,
yeah. But like objectively, things can be bad.
Yeah.
Sure,
Right?
yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
objectively, a movie can be a mess. It can
Absolutely.
be unfaithful. Like objectively. Subjectively, we never get to make that decision for anybody other than ourselves.
Right.
And so like it sucks is such a subjective, anger-filled position that so many people take very, very vocally and then try and fill in the objective bits of information they can to back that subjective position.
Right.
So for me, letting go of it sucks, right? Like, like, this isn't for me. This is just not for me, right?
Yeah.
Was huge. And when did you all, or you know, like, when did you find yourself at, this isn't for me?
Man.
I'm still not there. I'm still in therapy.
Yeah.
It was in my 30s for sure.
Yeah, I feel like my probably my late 20s, because I got really back into video gaming when I was 24, because that was right after I'd graduated from college. And so because I'm like trying to grab onto all of these new games and try new things and blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
I'm touching all kinds of video games. Stuff people are like, try this one, try this one, try this one. And it was in part that I was being recommended things because my friends enjoyed them. And also that I'm trying to be mindful of the fact that you might enjoy this. And so it's both for me a communication strategy of it's not my place to tell you that it sucks because you like it or don't like it or whatever, right? That's not my decision to make for you. So I tried to like remove that frame of thinking in Steel, like, because I am very I'm very comfortable breaking out why I think something objectively is not well done.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But I'm very anti trying to persuade anybody to feel a certain way based on my personal opinion. Now, while I try to have what I believe are informed opinions, I also know that my opinion is still my opinion. And so I think that's kind of when I tried to let go of it sucks, was when I was like getting monsooned with video games and having to be like, okay, I don't like this one. Next, right?
Yeah.
And so like, instead of getting stuck on, I fucking hate this. I was like, okay, don't like it. Next one, pop that in the PS3. Here we go. Let's try this one, right? And my whole house started swirling away. So I think that's probably around the time that I started letting go of things. And then by the time I was like 30, I was like, listen, I fucking like what I like and I don't what I don't. You're allowed to like what you like.
Right.
And I don't what I don't. And that's all okay.
Yeah.
Everything's happy.
Yep.
Listen, a 25-year-old Tremayne once said in a car ride home from Baltimore, I'm 25 years old. I'm into what I'm into.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's good that you know that, because some people,
Yeah.
I mean, and personally, I mean, mine might have been, close to when the daughter was born, or when I accepted that I'm just a dad and who gives a shit. like the things that I'm wearing, the things that I'm doing. If I'm playing Pokemon, if I'm like, who gives a shit? I don't care what anybody thinks.
Yeah.
So like, I think that was kind of like, around the same time that I started being that with video games. But I was also stuck on Destiny for an incredibly long time. And I don't want to be disappointed with anything. And I was also in that part of me where I was like, it's all good, and then I was looking for the objective points on why it's good because Destiny had to be it because it was my game and I couldn't play anything else.
Right.
Because I didn't have the time.
Yeah.
So like I had to make it good for myself.
Sure.
Yeah, but I mean, it was good.
But
there's
good,
tons
but
of
it
terrible.
still feels good. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
any game that I would pick up that didn't feel good, like that would be like for me was always like I could put it down immediately and just never play it again.
Yeah.
Like I won't tell anybody. Like if anyone asks me about it, I'm like, yeah, it just it doesn't play well for me. Like it's not smooth enough or whatever. But like if you're into that, you're into that.
Sure.
You know. But that's really what it comes down to for me. But yeah, not caring what anybody thinks, dude. I don't care.
I think there's an interesting component of it where like feeling things is better than not feeling things.
Yeah, right.
And if you're not hyper confident in who you are as a person, which is common early adulthood, like very common in early adulthood. And I do think like mid-20s, some people have their shit together way before and they're just like, I know who I am when I'm 16 years old. And it's like, all right, cool. Congratulations for you. No, I mean, I've met some 21 and 22 year olds that shit's together. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. That's impressive. Look at you.
Nice work, doctor.
Congratulations. Right. Yeah. But like, I think when it feels better to feel something than to feel nothing.
Right, yeah.
And it is easier to hate things than it is to find things to like, right?
Oh, for sure.
I think you do cross a threshold of age. And I'm not going to be like, in the 30s or whatever. But I do think you cross the threshold of age, or maybe it's responsibility, or maybe it's just life experience that just goes... I got enough shit.
The last thing to do is worry about the fucking movement in this game.
Like I got enough hate filled up.
With that bar.
With like
actual life
shit to hate.
Yeah. I think that's huge.
I don't like this.
Right.
And that's fine. And I don't need to, and it's okay. Right? And I do think that there's a component of for me where it's like, I'm not really going to punch anybody in the face over their opinions on what order the right order to watch the Star Wars movie is. Movies in.
I might.
But I probably would have when I was 22.
Sure, when your hate meter wasn't full.
Because there's room and capacity to be upset about these things, right? Yeah. Whereas like, not trying to make it fucking... Point is my meter's full AF. Have you seen the news outside?
Yeah.
Like,
it's a capacity problem.
I don't have the room to be upset about anything that is something that is I enjoy. Yeah. Like in a space.
Sure.
Like, well, I did it now. Yep. I don't have the room to be upset about whatever, full disclosure, whatever happens with the Switch 2 is what happens with the Switch 2, right? Like, I don't got the room for it. Yeah. I'll buy it eventually.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Hear me out.
Because the world outside is on fire.
Yeah.
Hear me out, though. Secret hate bar.
Secret hate bar.
Jesus.
Once that one's full, the next one shows. Drew thinks his hate bar is full.
It just keeps filling up instead of going down.
Too much.
It's passing the graphic.
That's what's happening inside of me. Oh man, that's so good.
That was good. I loved
Secret
it.
hate bar. Perfect.
Secret hate bar.
Nice.
Face change.
Damn.
Well, peoples, I think secret hate bar is the perfect way to go out.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's a great show name.
We found it.
We have so many. We gotta start writing these down.
Yeah.
Priority minute, secret hate bar. But it's been the show. I've been your boy, your host, Tremayne Labs. I'll let y'all go around. I'll change it up on y'all.
We're doing it again.
Yeah, say
Later,
bye.
it's Ron Raincorn.
I'm Drew, and it's okay.
I'm Rachel, and it's been a good day today.
It's been a good day, y'all. Bye.
Secret hate bar got me good.